the slip. Ethereal's coming hard on the outside. The New Zealand mare. Ethereal after give the slip. Ethereal hit the lead in the cup. Ethereal takes the Caulfield Melbourne Cup double.
The new Queen of the Turf, only the third mare to win the Caulfield and Melbourne Cup double, and what a way to do it. Her trainer Sheila Laxon an inspiration, her jockey Scott Seamer a battler from the bush. It's a story that won't soon be forgotten.
No, she's certainly one of the top, best ever horse I've been on, and probably one of the best fillies, you know, to race in the both cups.
That was right, wasn't it? Isn't she super?
Of course, a win like this can take its toll on both horse and rider. Ethereal spooked on the way back to the winner's circle. Seamer left bruised and battered, but on occasions like this, pain's no barrier.
At the moment, he wants to get back on, get back up there, doff the cap, and accept the cheers of the crowd.
To Peter and Philip Vella, when Laurie went to Singapore, they let me carry on training their horses. Although, you know, some people said that perhaps I wasn't up to it, and I'm really pleased to be able to vindicate their judgment today. And of course to Ethereal, you're a magic horse, and I love you dearly. Thank you.
The decision to run the horse in the Melbourne Cup was a late one. It's fair to say the right one. Connections sure never to forget the moment they took on the world and won.
I'd like to thank all of those friends of mine who told me what a goose I was for not immediately setting her for at the moment that she won the Caulfield Cup, and I thank them for their advice and counsel, and I'm delighted that I took it.
Of course, no carp is ever void of drama. Carpstad Way scratched just before the race. Trainer Chris Wood's hopes of victory washed away with the rain. While in the running, jockey Corey Brown fell heavily from Mare Hill of Grace. He's got a suspected broken arm. Of course, the build-up to this year's Cup was overshadowed somewhat by the controversy surrounding one-time race favourite Universal Prince. Trainer Bede Murray given until 7 this morning to prove the horse's fitness. Unfortunately, he couldn't. The vets claiming the horse was still lame. Murray left a shattered man.
I reckon he's no different from he was on Saturday.
And what do you think?
Bullshit.
And I have great sympathy for both he and the owner and anybody else who's backed the horse in pre-race betting.
It's of little comfort to Murray. His Melbourne Cup dreams dashed, and he doesn't know why.
How do you explain it, you know? Nothing worse.
Steve with the Land, 7 News.
And as usual, not all the drama was confined to the track. Melbourne turning on a wet, cold and miserable day. But despite the conditions, more than 90,000 fans still flocked to Flemington.
It's the day at the races where outfits range from the sublime to the outrageous. And regardless of the weather, this year was no different.
I've got the thongs on, mate. I heard it was going to clear up by lunchtime. And I should do, I think. It's passing over.
It's a treat, absolute treat. We excel in these type of conditions.
What have you got under the blanket here?
I've got a shoestring dress on, so I'm freezing.
Whatever possessed you to dress up like this today?
Because I love Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Welcome to Flemington! Good luck, everyone!
Many heeded the advice of race organisers catching the train in, while others made the trip as they do each year by water, or the bus and the trek through the mud-sodden car park. The plastic poncho was a must-wear item, and coffees rather than beer were in high demand as the punters started their day.
Professional losers, but we're here.
I'm tipping a very special horse. Persian Punch.
Tarpaulins, plastic sheets and makeshift tents were the fashion on the field.
I don't think you're going to see too much racing from under there.
See what?
And in the car parks, with the ladies' elaborate hats bearing the brunt of bad weather.
I've had to go to the ladies' room and dry them with the hand dryer a number of times already.
But no shortage of food and drink, those settling in for the day well prepared, in comfort, or on the grass trackside.
By lunchtime, everybody had given up hope of a break in the weather. In fact, in the last hour, the temperature has dropped. The rain, well, it's set in for the day, but still they arrive in their thousands.
The betting ring was abuzz as time ticked towards the great race, punters queuing up to place their bets.
Each way betting these, give them a name.
I'll look at the names and see what sounds good. They look pretty, the horse is good. Weather. Weather's got a lot to do with it this year.
Then the moment we'd been waiting for. Peter Morris, 7 News.
And apart from the race itself, Melbourne's wet weather was the talk of the town today. Our weatherman David Brown is out at Flemington at the moment, and David, it certainly came down.
It certainly did, Peter. Thanks very much. Well, the rains may have cleared, but the heavens opened up last night, dumping 10 millimetres of rain on Flemington, in turn turning the car park into a bog, which, well, put a dampener on the traditionally colourful Melbourne Cup Day fashions.
The grey clouds may have set in over Melbourne, but they failed to drain the colour out of Flemington. Flowers, feathers and fantasy featuring amongst the fashion elite. Umbrellas and closed-toe shoes, the essential accessories.
Well, I think it's really testing women today, and so anyone who can make it work on Cup Day and weather like this is very impressive.
Defiant models showcase style as the heavens opened. The rain a handicap in the fashions on the field.
Raincoat might be a good idea, but umbrella's doing the job.
It's an absolute travesty to think of the hats and headwear getting like wet chooks under a blanket, but the show goes on.
But the show didn't go on. Fashions on the field washed out, leaving the competition wide open.
The girls are wearing what they would be wearing if it was brilliant sunshine, and I think that is fantastic.
They look a little chilly, but they look fantastic.
But there's no doubt the best place to escape the rain today was in the comfort of a marquee. And with wall-to-wall celebrities, the Tui's new lounge was the hottest tent on the track. Boasting the nation's longest sushi train, dance floor, Moulin Rouge-inspired lounge room and viewing of the track, the multi-level enclosure had celebrities, socialites and even sports stars stunned.
There's plenty of things going on and plenty of celebrities around the place as well, so yeah, it's really good.
It's very, very posh. A bit better than the tents we used to camp in when I was a boy, you know.
Louise Pennell, 7 News.
But some Melburnians preferred to stay away from Flemington, many content with the other delights of traditional cup celebrations throughout the city.
Breakfast with style to kick off a day of cup celebrations. Melbourne's top hotels hosting thousands in grand fashion. There was glorious food, flowing champagne, and always the very best in fashion, even the edible kind.
You have to wear comfortable shoes, a hat that fits you and looks good on you.
It's a bit different to being in tracksuit pants. Yeah, I've decided to go the flower today, let my hair down.
Some took into account Melbourne's wet weather, others were dripping in diamonds.
I feel like a princess, to be honest, yeah. The race that stops the nation. It's just great to be part of Melbourne Cup Day.
Many thought they were on a winner.
The tip for today, ethereal. There's only one horse to back, and that's may the horse be with you.
I'm afraid that I haven't got a faintest idea. I'm only in it for the clothes.
For Tabcorp, it's their busiest day.
Good morning, telephone meeting. Your account number, please.
Well, this is really like a week and a day for us in terms of turnover.
Victorians splurging $26.6 million on the Cup alone, almost $1 million more than last year.
Oh, I think I nearly broke the bank. I put a good $5 on it.
For many, the idea of Cup Day is to keep as far away from the course as possible, but still keeping a keen eye on the big race.
Monica Lepore, 7 News.
And we'll be crossing out to Flemington later in the bulletin to